How's it going, everybody? I'm Steve, and welcome back. So I'm real excited about tonight because I'm recording this on July 23rd on Tuesday, and I went to Barnes & Noble tonight to pick up my fourth and final title for the month. Actually, I picked up maybe almost like 11 or something like that for the month, but this is I wanted to do four titles in this video, and this one I was like 10 years old when this movie was released originally in 1983. It's Spy Number 1227, and the movie is Risky Business. This one, obviously, it's directed by Paul Brickman. It's starring Tom Cruise and Rebecca De Mornay, and I'll just say his name is Joey Pants because I always kind of mess his name up. But you know that guy from the Matrix, Memento. He's been in several movies over the years. Bad Boys, I think some of those movies. But this one, obviously, I've this month at Barnes & Noble with that rewards card, I picked up like $10, and I had a $5 reward for this one, and I thought about pre-ordering this, but I thought I'll just wait and go to the store because this store is even though their inventory is kind of running low, so obviously they've sold quite a few Criterions this month, but I was kind of surprised that nobody was in the section. This is like a rush hour traffic, so. But when I went there, I saw it wasn't in like the normal area. They had like a Blu-ray. They had like on the side, they had like a Blu-ray, and I thought maybe it looked like two movies were there, and I thought it was going to be like two Blu-rays. But when I flipped it back, I saw it was the 4K title, and I don't really collect a ton of 4Ks, but this is one I really want to get on 4K. I had it on Blu-ray. Even like this past Sunday, I sold it to the exchange, and because I knew this movie was getting released on 4K through Criterion. But like I said, I've grown up with this movie. It's just I'm really excited to see what it looks like in 4K and how it sounds. Okay, so this next title is actually one. Anybody that's watched my channel recently will know that I've watched a lot of movies from this director recently, and he's got like 8 titles in the Criterion collection. But it's from 1940, Spy Number 135, and the movie is Rebecca. This is like a Best Picture winner from Alfred Hitchcock, and starring Laurence Olivier and Joan Fontaine. And this movie won Best Picture originally. Hitchcock never won like best director. I think he got like an honorary Oscar later on in his career, like near the end, because he did so much great work. I think he did like 60 films, and people really appreciated him. But he was one of those directors. I think he made cameos in like 37 of his own films. It kind of became sort of a joke, I think, in some ways, and I think some people just kind of thought he wasn't very serious, I guess, but he ended up being like the most, one of the most influential directors ever, I think, and people really appreciated him, especially later in his career. He died in 1980, and he was actually 80 years old when he passed away. So he was 80 and died in 1980. So I think that a lot of people just think Hitchcock is like one of the most iconic directors out there, and then I'm really glad to pick this one up, and I'm anxious to check it out. Okay, this third title is actually one I've actually watched. Obviously, like I said, I've seen Risky Business, but out of these, as far as the other 3 films were all blind buys, and this third film was actually one it's been recommended to me for quite a while. I've had it on my list for a couple years now, but it's released in 2004. It's Spy Number 1149, and the movie is Takeout. This one is kind of heartbreaking in some ways. It's not quite what you would think it would be necessarily, but it takes place in New York. It has a lot of the actors in the movie speak Chinese. Actually, the main star of the movie, his name is Charles Jang, and he actually speaks English fluently. But in the film he's actually from South Korea originally, but he plays a Chinese delivery he does deliveries in New York, and he had to learn like Mandarin. I think he knew some Mandarin, but the movie's like some of it's in Chinese and some of it's in English, so it's not something you're just going to watch in all foreign language film or something like that. Like I said, it's filmed in New York, so a lot of people in the film speak English, but this guy, you just see all the elements he has to deal with, and kind of heartbreaking the third act is. And when I watched it the first time, I thought I don't know or if I really like that movie or not, but it's from a director Sean Baker, and one thing that I really liked when I watched it the second time with commentary, just learning all the things they had to do in the film. It looks kind of like a documentary, but it has actors in it, and so it's realistic though. I think even the non-actors in the film do a good job and seem realistic. But you'd have to see the movie to see what I'm talking about as far as being sort of like heartbreaking, like in the movie. But I don't want to spoil it, but necessarily. But I enjoyed it so much more even the second time. I just appreciated so much more, just knowing what was coming and how long the movie was, and just it's not really that long of a movie, but just kind of knowing when it was close to the end, and I kind of was more prepared for it the second time I watched it. So, but I enjoyed this one a lot. Okay, so my fourth film here is actually from another iconic director. One I've been watching his films for like the last 3 years now, and I've enjoyed everything I've seen from him. I think I've seen like 5 or 6 movies now. I haven't seen this one yet, obviously, but this is one of the really early Criterions. It's Spine number 24 from 1963, and the movie is High and Low. This one is so many people have told me when I talked about director Akira Kurosawa. People have told me that I've got to see this movie, High and Low, because I've seen, like I said, I liked everything else I've seen, but everyone says, well, you got to see High and Low. That's considered to be one of the favorites, I think. Even with like Seven Samurai, I think this one's probably even more popular than that one, I think. But so I don't know exactly what it's about. Like I said, most of the other films I've seen were all from the 50s, and this one's from 63, so obviously it's a little bit later. I think it's a black and white film, but it has two very common actors that have been in a lot of Kurosawa's films, Toshiro Mifune and obviously Takashi Shimura. If you know these two actors, if you see them, you'll definitely know their faces. If you've seen any of the Kurosawa films, actually, Shimura was in the movie Akira that I had in my last, I think it was my last Criterion haul. And Mifune's been he's been in pretty much everything that Kurosawa ever did, I think. So you know his face quite a bit. If you've seen Seven Samurai, you'll know what I mean. But so really anxious to watch this one. Obviously, I've got 2 iconic directors in this top 4 here, and it's been a lot of fun with collecting Criterions from Barnes & Noble this month. Obviously, I think I picked up maybe 11 titles altogether, and like I said, I've had so many rewards points because I've been using my free rewards card. So, like I said, I'm really excited to watch this one, and let me know. Like I said, let me know in the comments if you've seen any of these titles. Okay, everybody, I really appreciate you watching this video. I've really enjoyed communicating with people, really throughout my Criterion career, I guess. It's really nice to have so many positive comments, and if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider doing that, and please put a thumbs up on this video. It definitely helps with the YouTube algorithm. And everybody have a great one. Thank you.